Hello, this tutorial is to help you take what is a fairly ordinary picture and turn it into a high contrast, highly colorful composition in just a couple of steps. For example, here is a picture of a construction site, and with a couple of adjustments you'll be able to first turn it into a high contrast black and white, and then you'll be able to replace those colors with almost anything that you want to put in there. So I'm going to start and give my example using the picture of this palm leaf. I deliberately put the sky in the background because these kinds of conversions tend to work best when you have a very high contrast to begin with. It helps the computer make the difference between the light and the dark easier. So what I'm going to do first is make sure I have my adjustments panel here. If you don't have this adjustments panel, then you need to go to the top of your machine and find Window, and you need to put a check mark next to it. If you see here, everything that has a check mark appears on the screen. When you have a small display, such as a laptop display, you try to have as few of these panels on there as possible. I always have the adjustments, I always have the layers, and I like to have the color too, although it's not completely necessary. So I'll turn that one off and make the window a little bit simpler. Step one, after you look at your image, you go to your adjustments. There are a set of icons here, a row of 5, a row of 6, and a row of 5. You go to the middle one in the bottom row. It's called the threshold adjustment. When you click on it, this panel appears, and often it appears over the image. You want to make sure that that's out of the way. If you look at it carefully, you'll see this picture illustrating the pixels and how they are distributed, and it's got this small triangle right in the center, and the threshold level says 128. That's the middle. It's between 0 and 256. If you click on it and hold it and begin to slide it, to the left you can see it lightens things. To the right you can see it darkens things. So you go one way or the other to see what's giving you the best result, and as you can see, as we go left, it's revealing more and more of the leaves of this palm. At some point it's going to go too far and the tree leaf will start disintegrating, and there it goes like that. So go to a point where you're happy with what you've got, you're not losing any image, and then you can stop. The next step is to select this white and then replace it with another color. So in order to do that, we need a selection tool. All the tools are here in the toolbar on the left. I'm going to use the fourth tool down. It's called the Magic Wand tool. Although if you go and look on your particular toolbar, it may not be visible. It might look like this. You may have what appears to be a circle with a plus sign. That is the quick selection tool. Magic Wand tool is the better tool in this instance. To get it, you click and hold briefly on the icon, and the hidden tools will be displayed. I'm going to then click on the Magic Wand tool. Another important step is to make sure it functions and selects correctly. Looking at the top options bar right here, it has all the settings for all the tools. In this instance, it's got the setting for the Magic Wand tool. You want to make sure that the word contiguous has no check mark. So if it has one, you want to click on it and make that go away. Anti-alias is always checked. There's no need to worry about that. Next thing is to hover over the area you want to select. In this instance, it's the white. So I will click on the white, and you'll begin to see some small vibrating lines that indicates a selection is active. What I need to do now is replace that selected area with some paint. So I'm going to go and make a new layer for that paint to be placed upon, and you will go to the very bottom of your layers panel, and there should be a wastebasket that says delete layer, and next to it there should be an icon that says create a new layer. If you hover over those icons, the label will reveal itself. Click on that, and then you get a new layer right here. You should have 3 now. You shouldn't have any more than 3. Should be labeled layer 1. And what layer 1 is, it's just a layer with checkerboards on it. That means it's empty. It has no pixels, no adjustments, nothing is happening. This is where we're going to pour the paint. Now I have to get my painting tool, which is somewhere in the middle of the toolbar. In this case, the bucket is already there, but on your particular toolbar, you might have what looks to be the gradient tool. It'll look like that. You'll want to click and hold on it to reveal the hidden tools. Choose the paint bucket tool by clicking on that. And then you'll need to choose a color. So you can do that by going into the color picker menu, the color picker panel, which is part of this foreground background color. So click on the top one, and the color picker should appear, and wherever you click in there, that's the color that will be adopted by the paint bucket. You can use this band on the left to slide through the whole variety, or you could simply click in the band in order to get what you want. So I'm going to pick something here in kind of the orange color family. I will say OK, and you can see now that this has become the color in the foreground. I hover over the white with my paint bucket. I just click and it pours in the paint. Now what I want to do is replace the black with something else, and in order to do that, I'm going to I only have to change the selected area to its reverse. So I will go up here to where it says select. It's in the very top menu bar of the workspace, and if you look down, the 4th command is inverse. It also has a keyboard shortcut. If you pressed Shift Command I, it would do the same. It's not always obvious when you're starting out that the change has occurred, but right now all of the black has been selected. The selection has been reversed. Again, before I pour any paint, I want to make a new layer. I will go to the bottom of the Layers panel, click on the second icon, and again I have another blank layer, just like the first, and I'm going to go over to my color picker. I'll select a new color, this time something in purple area. Make a good color contrast, purple and orange. I say OK, and then I'll hover over the black area, click the button, and I pour it in the paint. So now what I can do is turn off the selection to see what I've got, and you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can go up to where it says select and you choose deselect. What I tend to do is use the keyboard command, Command D, and then that turns off the selection and allows you to see what you've accomplished without any distractions. So that's a quick way to achieve a high contrast, extremely colorful adjustment using the threshold commands.